Hello everyone, it's me, the RetroDen, and today we're here for one of those discussion videos because I've noticed something regarding me and gaming as of recently that I wanted to talk about here on the channel because I know that a lot of people are also struggling from it, and I think very honestly it's a product of the entertainment industry we're surrounded by nowadays, and I wanted to have some discussion around it to see what can be said and how it can be fixed. So you've probably guessed by the title of the video, I'm having trouble playing games on the longer side as of nowadays. So when did I notice this? It was in one of my long nights because I usually tend to stay up late, so I wake up, I do my coffee, do my video that I have to do for the day now that I'm in this daily upload schedule, and I edit, I post, and then I have some other in real life things to do, and then I save my gaming space for later in the day, so I tend to game later at night. But I noticed that when I'm trying to choose a game, I suffer from a lot of analysis paralysis, and one of the main things that make me suffer from this analysis paralysis is the duration of some games, because since my time is so limited during the day, I have trouble picking out the games that tend to be longer. So what happened and what I noticed is that even when it came to my completions and achievement hunting, I always tended to choose games on the shorter side, and it reflected a lot on games I completed this year, such as the Asterix XXL2, which was a game I could beat in one day, and the Toy Story game from PS1, and games like Alba, which I beat like a few days ago, Half-Life Episode 1, all games that you could beat in one sitting. And then I started thinking if the problem was, do I like playing just shorter games, or am I trying to avoid games that require multiple sessions, because I tend to strive for that completion and I get kind of anxious waiting for the next thing. So I've lost the capacity and will to play a game from one day to another unless we're talking something like a live service. So it honestly has been a long time ever since I booted up a game and I played it and then continued the game on the next day, because these times have been so hard that I just open a game, play it, and most of the times I don't even continue it the next day, and that's just how things have been. And I also started looking for reasons of why I haven't been able to play long games. The main thing that came to mind was hyperfixation. So when I was younger, I used to play bigger games. I have single-player games which I played for hundreds of hours, RPGs, and I used to dedicate a lot of time to single-player games like Skyrim, like even Lego games, which took 40 hours to beat each one, which are quite long times if you consider how much time a normal person has to beat a game on a weekly basis. And I used to play longer games and spend more time on games, but nowadays I've noticed that my attention span is just smaller. And one thing that I also struggle with, and as much of a brain rot as this sounds, I struggle playing without listening to a podcast or something, and that affects me because I tend to not start games that require me paying attention to a story, since I will just end up listening to the podcast and playing the game on the side, which honestly is something that I don't want to do because I'm missing out on some great games I eventually want to play. But I have trouble after midnight or the hours that I start playing of sitting down and just having the game to focus on. So even more recently I've been playing this action RPG called Adventure Quest, and I always have a podcast to the side while I'm playing the game, so I'm never fully focused on the game and always multitasking and watching content while I'm playing. And going back to the reasons why I think this is happening, I think it's mainly a result of hyperfixation. As much as I tried to avoid it in the beginning, I eventually fell into the loop of the TikTok watching. And I don't use TikTok per se, I use TikTok on the channel to post videos for the channel, but I don't use it to watch content. But as much as I tried to avoid that, other platforms I used tried and also implemented functions that work just as TikTok. So, you know, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and those are a trap, if anything. You might want to call them the new type of entertainment, but that type of content, as much as I like it for promoting my own content, is very bad for the human being. Because, admittedly, it has even affected my own attention span, which was something I was very proud of when it came to playing games. I liked sitting down and playing longer games, and I noticed that when it came to games, I've lost the ability to play games for a longer duration because I'm so used to that dopamine rush from watching small videos in the forms of shorts or TikToks or Instagram Reels. And I think that's something that a lot of people have been struggling with, that instant gratification of watching a short and the back-to-back content. And most games, when it comes to RPGs and longer stories, don't have that instant gratification. It's a long process that you have to go through in order to enjoy it. It's a process that I used to enjoy. Going through the beginning of the game, understanding the world that the game provides you with, and the entire story and mechanics, and then eventually reaching that culminating point that is the ending of the game and the credits rolling. And I've noticed that when I mentioned my short completions and the games I've been playing in short doses, it's just that I want that fast gratification. I want to start a game and complete it on the same day, so I don't have to go through the process of waiting and making it more extensive. I get anxious if I go to sleep and the game is not complete. I'd rather push out my daily routine and stay awake for long periods of time rather than having that game not be complete when I go to sleep. And this is something I want to fix, which you have also probably guessed by the title of this video, because I don't want, moving forward with this, I don't want myself to be brain rotted. I think it's something we suffer from a lot, and the platforms we use on a daily basis are pushing us towards that incapability of consuming long-form content. And I was a person that was always prone to consuming long-form content, and starting to lose this ability has really worried me, because I fear that eventually this will be a non-reversible process and that I will struggle even more to play long games again. So I'm starting to think what measures I can take to play and enjoy long games again in a way that doesn't make me anxious or makes me want to watch content on the side of the screen while I'm playing those games. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is maybe get over that first phase of analysis paralysis, which is just doing less research on the games I play. So basically just hopping into games and hoping they hook me so I can go through that process of playing them from one day to the other, just because I want to get through that story and enjoy that moment. And one thing that I also have to pair with that is not watching, or trying not to watch, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and maybe TikToks, even though I don't use TikTok for consuming content, because as much as I like those platforms, as I just said, they affect our attention span as a human being, and it affects everyone. And as a content creator, I know that that doesn't just affect me, because I've noticed from one year to the other, the retention on videos gets much lower, because most people are not prone to staying in a video and watching it for more than 2 minutes. Because why would I watch one video that lasts like 20 minutes, and even this one, which is going to be around the 10-minute mark, why would I watch that if I can just go and watch 10 videos which will fill my mind with content? And I think losing that capability of watching a longer video is also losing the capability of investigating any topic in a more in-depth perspective. And as a content creator myself who wants to explore games in a very deep manner, so I could write better scripts and talk more in-depth about the games I like and the franchises I like, I need to stop myself from the path I'm currently walking, and I need to enjoy longer games again. It's not the problem of the games, it's only their duration. There are games like I mentioned on this channel a few weeks ago, like The Witcher 3 and other big RPGs, and even old GTA games like GTA San Andreas that take some time to beat, that I need to sit down and focus on the game. So I'm going to try and combat this urge we have nowadays as a human race to consume shorter content and that search for instant gratification, and see how it goes. This is a topic I wanted to talk about because I know a lot of people have been struggling with this, and nowadays there are a lot of big games out there that people should play and that I want to play that have just been impossible for me for all the reasons I've just listed. But this was what was on my mind today, and I thought I'd put it out here on the channel because it's something I've been really struggling with, and I want to see how many of you actually struggled with this as well. And leave it in the comments if you guys are struggling with this as well, and if you are not struggling with this, what would you recommend me doing so I can get over this phase? But yeah, that has been it. I hope you liked this video. This has been the RetroDen, and I'm out.